We're back! Hey guys!
Hey guys!
It's Chloe.
And it's Margaret.
And welcome back to C&M Chatterbox. Yes, guys, I know you missed us. It's been a hot second that we haven't posted a podcast, and we're going to explain why. Margaret? Cue the excuses.
The IB. Yeah.
Yeah, the IB.
I mean, there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do, guys. And I'm sure you guys know that we do the IB. We're high school students, and it's just been a lot. I think the most difficult part was we struggled with balancing the podcast and our studies because we both take difficult subjects, and it's just really difficult to be able to balance the two. But we're back.
Yep.
And we're figuring out a way to balance it, and we're gonna try to make our podcast a priority because we love it, recording podcasts.
Yes, and as we only have 2 months left of school, we are going to try our best to make good content. And I just want to say in the beginning that if you guys have any topics or anything that you would like us to talk about in the podcast, or if you would like to come feature in one of our podcasts, please let us know. Our Instagram is C&M Chatterbox.
Or you could just comment below.
Yes, comment below as well. So either way, you have both options. We would love to hear what you guys want to hear from us, because we are working on improving and making our podcast more interesting for you guys to want to listen.
Yeah.
But
we'll do better, guys. We'll do better.
So now that we're here, we will be talking about the recent news that has been happening around the world. Just a little preview of what we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about the Super League and going into depth about what that is and what's going on with that. Along with that, we'll also be talking about the James Charles scandal.
Yeah.
Which we wanted to add in. Because it's kind of interesting, for sure.
We're also going to talk about Daunte Wright.
Yeah, and the shooting that happened. So, news that's been going on. So, if you haven't heard already, there's something called the European Super League that was proposed for the 2021-2022 season. And it features 12 of the top, teams in Europe. So that includes Manchester United, Liverpool, Man City, the Spurs, the Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus. It's not all on top of my head. Those are the ones that I know from the top of my head. So mainly the countries like UK, Spain, and Italy, basically. And what's going on is the fans are not very happy about this, what they were proposing.
I've been seeing so many memes about this, and I wish I could understand.
Yeah, for me as a footballer, I think it's completely irrational. It's so stupid, because if you're taking out these big teams, there's going to be no competition in Champions League. And this brings me on to why. Basically FIFA, who owns Champions League, the World Cup, the Euro, etc., they do not want this to happen. They do not want the Super League. And the consequences for all the players that will be doing the Super League, if it happens, will not be able to participate in the Euro, the World Cup, the Champions League, and they cannot participate in their own cups. So for Spain, they can't participate in La Liga.
And that's messed up.
For the UK, those teams and the players, they cannot participate in the Premier League. So then there's going to be no competition, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
If you're taking some of the best teams in the UK, what competition is there going to be? You're taking Man U, Liverpool, all these teams, what competition? But it kind of ruins the whole entire aspect of what football is. And the fact that football came from a humble beginning. It came from a time where that was played by the poor, the people that.
I just saw it here. I just searched it up. It says sorry guys. The European Super League is being condemned as money grabbing.
Yeah,
that's what it says.
100%. They're just doing this to get money, and that's why they're taking the big teams.
Yeah.
So.
Wait. The reason why they said that if they play in the Super League, they'll be banned from playing in all other matches and stuff outside of the Super League. Did they say that because they're trying to stop it from happening, or is it just a rule that they endorsed?
I think because I saw something from Gianni Infantino, who's the president of FIFA.
Yeah.
He said that, it's like they want to have this. They're going to have to suffer the consequences of what's going to happen if they leave.
It says here, I'm just reading from an article, guys, because I'm trying to contribute. But it says club president Florentino said that the decision to create the new league was in part taken because young people are no longer interested in the game. But he said he told a Spanish TV show that audiences are decreasing and rights are decreasing and something has to be done. So he says we're all ruined and television has to change so we can adapt. That's what he said.
Well, I think one of the main issues is because of COVID. I mean, clearly nobody can go watch the games. Some people can't pay for the television, like the subscription for some of them. Like I know for like Ligue 1, you have to pay for like a subscription to watch it. For me, I have to do that.
Same.
And also like creating the Super League won't do anything. You're just taking the best teams. There's no competition. There is a lot of competition, but I don't think it'll be that interesting. I think right now even the fans are enraged with this decision, and the fans are the ones that are watching you play. So why would you, if you go along with this, you're gonna have not a lot of people that will support you in the first place, because nobody wants this to happen, except for the organizations, because like you said, it's just money grabbing.
At the end of the day, it's useless. Nobody's going to watch it, so they're just going to be wasting their time.
And you're taking like the best players. So like, for example, Barcelona, they have Messi. Juventus, they have Ronaldo. Yeah, if they go along with this thing, they're not going to be able to play in the World Cup. And the World Cup that's supposed to happen is going to be their final one. So imagine if they go with the Super League, that means they'll never be able to play the World Cup again.
No, that's messed up. If they're good in the head, they won't play.
Yeah, I don't think the players want to do either, because I read an article and a lot of the players are like against it. The players that play for these teams are against it.
But who decides for them? Do they decide whether they want to play or not?
It's the team. It's the organization.
So they have a say, but then they don't really have a say.
Yeah, exactly. They don't really have a say, to be honest. They can protest all they want, but let's just be honest.
Yeah, because they could quit, but then they won't have
a team,
a job.
And even then,
but career.
The thing is that they're taking these teams, and the only competition will have PSG, Bayern.
Yeah,
we'll just be watching PSG and Bayern the whole entire time.
Exactly.
Like PSG already beat them once. I mean twice. It's fine, guys. Get over it. Okay, so that is on the news about the Super League. Next thing we'll be talking about
James Charles.
This guy. He couldn't get into enough scandals already, and he had to get into another one.
And this guy, I don't really watch his videos and all that. But whenever there's a scandal between TikTokers, because he's friends with a lot of TikTokers, he's always the first one to like speak on it. He's always like tweeting stuff and being very sassy and being like, do the right thing, da, 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 da. Or why would you do this? It's stupid, da, 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 da. But it's hypocritical of him because he's done something that's even.
Yeah, and he's been in a lot of like scandals and drama, etc. And this is like not the first time. And
I wonder how he's doing. I wonder what he's thinking, because his career is practically over.
Yeah, but again, this happened to him before, and his career, like, he got his career back clearly.
Yeah.
You always have like a situation where you can get your career back and it starts booming again. Like, I don't know. Example,
Who? I know. I know some TikTokers.
Yeah, like
okay. Well, technically, they're
Bryce
they're-
Hall.
they're still being bashed in their videos, but they're back on TikTok. You know, Tony Lopez. Yeah, they had a huge scandal.
Oh, 100%.
And it was really bad, but they're back on TikTok and they're doing their thing.
Yeah, but even if they're still getting bashed.
They're still getting bashed, but if you look at the comments on their videos, they're not getting bashed as much. Like, they still have fans and they still have people supporting them.
Oh, and Nessa Barrett.
Yeah.
Last year. Oh, and then when Chase Hudson ruined everyone's career.
Yeah, guys.
Well,
It's don't bash us for knowing all this TikTok stuff.
yeah.
It's entertaining. If you decide to get into it, it's really entertaining.
Yeah.
But
Back to James Charles.
as Chloe said, whenever a celebrity does something wrong, celebrities always find a way to come back. It's not exactly forgotten, but then they come back and they still have supporters.
Yeah, but I feel like even though this was bad, from what I've read, it seemed like it was just like a misunderstanding because
Exactly.
like, the 16-year-old boy, he didn't say that. He said he wasn't 16.
He didn't say his age. He didn't say his age. So why is he being bashed while he didn't even know? Maybe he wasn't careful enough to like investigate this guy. But come on,
Like the audacity of the kid, like the fact that he used this
there's
against
people out there, yeah, to
like
ruin
there's
his,
he's just ruining his career. Like I don't know what you're trying to get out of it. Like nobody actually remembers who you are, the person that exposed James Charles. Like that's all you are.
I feel like people should just think about it this way. Imagine if it was you. I mean, I'm not saying that everyone has been in this situation, but people out there catfish. People out there lie about who they are, about their ages to get with other people. I think it's a thing people do. I know this person who lied to this girl he really liked. The girl was 19, and yet at that time he was 16, but he looked older. So he lied to her to be with her, and they were together for like a year, and then she messed up, and then that's when he told her the truth. So these things happen. So it's not really. I don't think he made like a huge mistake here, because obviously he was just looking for someone to be with.
He was a bit like desperate. He just wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
So, for people to say that, oh, he should have investigated this kid, or stuff
who
like
does that in the first place? But we forgot to say like what was going on with James Charles. But if you don't know, James Charles is a beauty YouTuber. But the whole situation is that he had admitted to sending sexual explicit messages to two 16-year-old boys. See, what I don't like about YouTubers is the fact that they always make apology videos, but do they actually mean it? But why are they apologizing? Oh, well, I guess I know why they're apologizing to us, but like, I don't know. I find it so repetitive, the amount of apology videos, and then they do the same thing again.
Is that they make so many mistakes to the point whereby even when a genuine YouTuber comes out with an apology video, you will be like, typical YouTubers always making mistakes.
Yeah.
Because they're always making mistakes. But
they're human at the same time.
Yeah, it's true. But if they should also understand that they're human, but they have huge platforms. And I understand.
And they're called influencers.
Exactly. I understand how difficult it can be to be some sort of perfect. But they also have to be careful with the things they do and the decisions they make.
Yeah, like look at Zendaya. Look at Zendaya. She is a real influencer. How long has she been in the industry?
How long has she been in the industry?
Since she was like young.
You don't hear like huge scandals about her.
Like she doesn't do anything because she's careful. She's careful with what she says. She's careful with what she does.
I mean, if you want to be an influencer, before you decide to get into this stuff, I feel like you should understand what you're getting yourself into, because it's not easy. I'm not an influencer, so I don't really know much about it. But obviously, I understand that you're human, but be careful, because there's other influencers out there who have managed to stay clear in all their influencer life.
The lifestyle.
in that kind of lifestyle, and they're careful. So it's unfortunate for him to be in this scandal, and people are gonna bash him and stuff. But yeah, but I feel like I just feel like it's very unfortunate for him because YouTube demonetized him, and more have canceled their partnership with him. All of this is happening because a 16-year-old lied to him.
Manipulated him.
Yeah, so I wonder
stuff like that.
I wonder how he's feeling.
Yeah. At the same time, it must be really hard on his mental health. People should not be like sending death threats or completely like dehumanizing James Charles, because we get it. He made a mistake, and it's not like you haven't made that mistake too.
I bet people have made worse mistakes.
People have made worse mistakes, but because he has a platform, people tend to like criticize them more for the mistakes that they make.
So yeah, so that's another thing that's happened recently.
James Charles.
What else do we have, Chloe?
Right. So guys, the last topic that we're talking about is Daunte Wright and the shooting and the the clearly mistaken situation where a police officer mixed up a taser with a gun.
I saw an article, and it said that Daunte Wright is related to George Floyd. I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, if it is true, then man. Do you want to say what happened, Chloe?
Yeah, so this annoys me so much, because how can you mistake a taser for a gun? Because they have two different weights, and they're on two different sides. The gun is on your dominant side, and the taser is on the other side. The tasers in the US are bright yellow. Unless you're colorblind, you should not be mistaking a taser for a gun. And first off, the Daunte Wright was just you see a black man. Either way, you see someone who is a person of color that does not look like you assume that they are doing something mischievous, something bad, something against the law.
Oh, so it says, okay, so I just saw an article, and it says, Wright, a 20-year-old black man, was shot and killed by former Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter during an April 11th traffic stop in suburban Minneapolis, Minnesota, just miles from where George Floyd was killed by the police last year. So that's how it's related to it. And also it says here that George Floyd's girlfriend says that she knew Daunte Wright. So that's how they're related, sort of. But yeah, it's really messed up because police officers are supposed to have experience and stuff, and they go
through vigorous police academies in the US. It's very vigorous, and there's a lot of things that you have to do. And I just find it a complete excuse if you say that you mistake a taser for a gun. They're completely two different things, two different sizes, two different weights. And out of impulse, just the fact that you did it out of impulse, you decided to take a gun
and shoot
someone who was just on the street doing nothing, not armed, nothing, which is what bothers me.
What exactly did she think he was doing? What was he doing? Because he was in his car, then he got out. All right, so you were saying what happened, Beatrice?
Okay, so I heard that basically what happened was they were trying to arrest him because he didn't have his ID or something. I'm not sure exactly what, but the reason that he got shot, or the lady wanted to taser her or whatever, was because when he had the chance, he ripped out of their grip and went into the car. And so by her, as she says, her reflexes, she grabbed her, wanting to grab her taser. She accidentally, I guess, grabbed her gun and shot him. But while she did, she was saying taser, taser, because that's the protocols that you have to say. And in the video, you can hear her saying that.
Yeah.
Which is why she didn't get that harsh of a punishment.
Yeah, of a sentence. Yeah, because I was about to speak on that too.
I watched the video because they have police cams.
Like she deserves it.
But that's the thing about police academies in the U.S. and in general. They teach officers how to racially profile, and even for black men, when they see a black man who's a police officer, if they see a black guy on the streets, they would do the same thing that a white police officer would do, because police academies teach these police officers how to racially profile. They teach them that, like, identify and I guess, like, ask them questions and kind of I can't speak English today, but kind of figure out like what they're doing, why,
Question them.
Yeah.
If it's in like a police academy, right? Okay, black and white. If a black man sees, if a black police officer sees a black, like one of their brothers, not really brothers, but like another like black teenager on the street, they will even though they're taught to racially profile them as that way, they'll actually like investigate more, or like visually investigate before they take action, you know. So they won't, like, even though they're black and even though they're trained to do that, I feel like it's sort of different, because they might understand what if it's their brother, or what if it's their uncle or their family friend. So I think that they will look more. They're not all trained to do that.
So I found the video that Beatrice was talking about. So I think I'm gonna play.
Soda with NBC News correspondent Megan Fitzgerald. She is in Brooklyn Center. Megan, I'm going to play some of the body cam video of the moment when 20-year-old Daunte Wright was pulled over, and then ask you a question on the other side. But I just want to give a warning to our viewers before they watch. This video is disturbing. Here it is. So, Megan, just to explain this to our viewers, police are saying that officer did not mean to fire the gun. How are they explaining what happened there, that mix-up, and what are they saying about the officer involved?
So, Allison, yeah, disturbing video that you just played there. It was played at a press conference earlier today. And so the police chief of Brooklyn Center said this was an accidental shooting. He says his senior officer, the senior officer there, thought she was reaching for a taser, and said, reached for her gun, fired that shot that fatally killed 20-year-old Daunte Wright. I want you to take a listen to how he explained the situation.
As I watch the video and listen to the officer's commands, it is my belief that the officer had the intention to deploy their taser, but instead shot Mr. Wright with a single bullet. This appears to me, from what I viewed and the officer's reaction and distress immediately after, that this was an accidental discharge that resulted in the tragic death of Mr. Wright.
Allison, as you can imagine, this entire situation sparking protests and outrage from people here in the community. In fact, over my shoulder here, a group of protesters have gathered outside the police department. This is where they marched last night into early yesterday morning, when police were out here with riot gear, using tear gas to disperse this crowd, Allison.
Megan, let me ask you, concerns about more protests and potential danger tonight, and also the mayor says he wants to see justice for Daunte Wright. What else are you hearing from protesters, from community leaders this afternoon?
Absolutely. So we've been talking with several protesters who say they will be here this evening. They plan on meeting here outside of the police department because they want more answers. They want this police officer to be fired. And that's also something that we heard the mayor calling for as well. The police chief says that she deserves due process and that the process needs to play out. The state agency here, the state law enforcement agency, is actually conducting this investigation, and he is asking the community for patience. But yes, there will certainly be protests tonight, Allison.
Hey, NBC News viewers.
Okay, well, in the beginning, if you couldn't tell, the whole entire situation was, like Beatrice said earlier, the police officer, she said taser, taser, and she didn't mean to shoot with a gun. I guess it was an impulse thing. It was this thing of, it was just
But there's also something else I saw that in the same video that I'd seen. That he had, once he got shot, he was in the car and he kept driving for like a mile or something, and then he crashed, and he died as a result, I guess, something like that along the lines. But like maybe you could say that perhaps if he had stayed there, like controversial topic, if he had stayed there, maybe they could have had the ambulance come and it would have been maybe
I get what you're saying, but I feel like I saw this video on TikTok, and it was this lady talking about how black people's mindsets are in America, because they've all concluded that all policemen are bad people. So I think maybe after he got shot, he was like, they're not gonna take care of me, or he thought something worse is going to happen. So that's why he drove away. Or maybe it's just the fact that he got into trouble and he just didn't want to. He just wanted to flee. But I don't know. We don't really know because he's not alive. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But either way, no matter what happens, I think it's just overall a heartbreaking situation. It was a situation that I guess could have been avoided. And I mean, we'll just see what happens and how, I guess, the government deals with this whole entire situation. Like they said, the mayor wants justice for Daunte Wright. What the police department is trying to do is they're trying to process her, but a lot of protesters, they want to fire her. They want them to fire her. So I guess we'll see what happens. So if I were you, stay up to date with the news, because even though some people it's boring, it's kind of interesting. So
that's all we have for today.
Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for being patient with us.
You're welcome.
But we'll be sure to make more recordings and to be able to balance our school life and our podcast life.
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And again, please let us know what you guys want us to talk about next time. We are planning on bringing...
Leave a comment down below and we'll get back to you.
Yes, and our Instagram handle will be downstairs below, so you could send us a message if you have any questions, let us know. And we are hoping to have Treasure and Beatrice back real soon for a special treat. So stay tuned and subscribe.
Guys.
Bye.